Charles from SentiFX. It is December 7th, 2019. Let's take a look at what's going on in the markets. The US dollar had a huge spike up on Friday. So I am looking at this to fill the liquidity gap up here. So would like to see something like this and target that area. Okay, so euro dollar, very similar as always as the dollar index. What I would like to see is a pullback to any of the trap traders in here, and granted it could go all the way back to possibly this area. I don't really see it going any higher than that, and then at minimum filling the liquidity gap here, and then possibly taking out stops below. Alright, dollar CAD. We had a repricing here, so this liquidity gap was completely filled, and so we may get some chop up in this area, and it may decide to go up from there, and it may decide to refill down this way again. But this isn't really something that I would play at this point. You know, you don't have a clear direction, so all you did was have a move down. It took out stops, and then you have a repricing going back up to fill the liquidity gap. Dollar yen. This one looks like it's chopping around. It doesn't have a clear direction here, so I am not going to trade this, and I don't. There's nothing to really analyze with this chart. It looks like you're just kind of chopping around. If you would have had a clearer move up and then a pullback, I would have been interested in this as a long to possibly fill the gap here. But you know, you had this huge spike up and then a sell-off, so there's no clear direction with dollar yen, so I will stay away from that this week. Pound dollar. This one is actually really interesting to me because there's a lot of options here to fill some of these liquidity gaps on the downside. Okay, so what I would like to see here for a trade would be obviously sentiment where retail is going long, but I would like to see with market structure something like this, and then a liquidity gap fill. So this would be my first target. This would be my second target. Okay, so this one looks very interesting. This looks like something I want to keep my eye on this week. Pound dollar as well as the euro dollar. And we have dollar franc. Now this one, as opposed to dollar yen, this one does have clear structure. Okay, so we had a break to the upside, and we're having a pullback to the trap traders. So this one could potentially, at minimum, take out stops here, and could go all the way up here to fill the liquidity gap. Okay, so you may see something like that. You may see it just take out stops this week and then just revert back. So this is a high probability target at this point, and this would be, you know, your next target up. The Australian dollar seems to be making like a compression type pattern. So, you know, you might see a lot more of this. I would keep an eye on sentiment to, if you're going to try to play a breakout direction, or you need to wait for the breakout direction and then go from there. You do have a liquidity gap that can fill all the way down here, and there's definitely stops above that can be taken. New Zealand dollar, this one has really hammered anybody trying to short it. It just keeps moving up. However, I would expect a move down soon, because this is really building up on the upside, and there's plenty of potential for downside on this trade. Okay, but you got to wait for the right indicators. So we got to wait for sentiment and market structure to align for us. Okay, so seasonally we already determined that the New Zealand dollar is a buy in December, so this has just taken off right from the beginning of December. It's gone up and hasn't changed its mind at all. It's just moving up. And so again, anybody shorting just keeps getting stopped out. Okay, but I expect this to change at some point. This is becoming very linear, so I'm not saying this is a good trade for this week, and you will be going against seasonality if you go short. But if sentiment shifts and you start to see some downside in market structure, there's plenty of room to go down. You know, there's plenty of stop levels here to take out. Okay, that's it for our end of week analysis. We'll see you next time.